So the therapy is rooted in principles of traditional acupuncture. Instead of using needles, the laser uses light. So there's many different classes of laser. This is a low-level laser. It uses light, not heat, so it's completely painless. It's very relaxing, but actually. It basically uses a focused beam of light. So the light stimulates nerve endings below the skin, which trigger the brain to release endorphins. You know those as our feel-good chemicals, right?
Right.
And so that prevents the patients from going through the physical withdrawal symptoms and having the cravings.
Podcast Twins, here we are in the Twin Cave again, Vince.
Twin Cave, and as you see, we got Drew, we got Vince, and as you look at us, we're absolutely identical.
Identical.
We are the Podcast Twins. And before we get started today, as always, I want to remind each and every one of you to go ahead and sign up and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and make sure you hit the little bell icon so you get all the notifications every time we post up a different idea or some new show or introducing a great guest like today.
Yeah, and we've got my friend Pam Behan here today. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
And, Pam, you do something that is very close to my heart. You help people quit smoking.
I do.
As your primary function. And you use all this cool equipment that you brought, and I'm sure we'll do a little show and tell with that.
Sure.
But before we even get into that, and why I think quitting smoking is important, why are you so into helping people quit smoking?
Well, my dad actually is the reason that I got into this. So my dad was a smoker for about 43 years. He smoked 2.5 packs a day. So he was like the last guy that you would think would quit. Tried multiple times, failed,
that's 50 cigarettes a day.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Just checking. I'm like, I know a pack is 20, 2.5.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So
to a non-smoker, that seems like a ridiculous.
Yeah, insane. But
it's about average. I think most people smoke like a pack to a pack and a half a day. So he's a little above average, my dad.
Okay.
So
all right.
So anyway, so he had tried to quit multiple times and failed, and he heard about laser 25 plus years ago maybe. And he thought, I'll give this a chance. It's probably not going to work, but I'll try it. And he tried it, and lo and behold, he stopped.
Really?
And he really just was amazed that it would work for somebody like him. So that was kind of the inception of us getting started doing this. I also am a former smoker, so I smoked not as long as him, obviously, but I was a smoker for about 10 years. I smoked about a pack a day, and it's funny, growing up I saw both of my parents smoke and thought it was nasty and never thought I would pick it up. But you hang around with some people and you try a little bit, and before you know it, you're hooked. You know, so I was a smoker for 10 years, and after my dad quit, it was presented to me an opportunity to get into a business with him, that he wanted to help other people.
So you let Dad quit first, and then you followed?
Well, Dad quit, and then Dad kind of like asked if I wanted to help with the business, and I thought, yeah, I do, actually.
But had you quit yet?
I hadn't quit yet.
Okay,
I hadn't quit yet.
So
it was, yeah.
Dad trailblazed.
That's it.
Like that hair club for men. I'm not just the president,
Well,
I'm
right,
also a client.
Exactly. So, yes. So I decided, all right, listen, I was doing, I was actually a massage therapist. That's what I am by trade. So I was doing that for probably 8 years prior to this, and I was getting burnt out.
I don't know why I can see that, but I
you
saw
can
it
see that.
I
really?
can see it in you. I don't know why.
It's the biceps. It's the biceps. It's the guns. That's why.
I'm telling you,
it has to.
It's got to be the guns.
So
I saw it.
Thank you. But I was kind of burnt out on that. So when my dad proposed to me hey, if you want to quit smoking and help start this business, come along. And so I was like, I'm going to do it. Yeah.
It's all therapy. Massage therapy, quit smoking therapy. It's a beautiful thing.
And quitting smoking is not the only thing you help with either.
No.
So give us the rundown of all of the other services that you can help people with.
So the rundown is really any type of nicotine addiction. So whether it's cigarettes, whether it's vaping, Zins, that's kind of the new sneaky DL nicotine addiction fix here. So I do anything for that. I do stress relief, and I also do treatments that help with chronic and acute pain as well.
Yeah, my dad said his knee was a lot better.
Yeah.
Dad is a client. I don't know if I'm supposed to disclose that or not, but whatever.
Don't say his name.
Yeah.
No.
It's my dad.
Right.
It's your show. It is your
I'm,
dad.
I'm
so.
really easy to find on the internet. They could find my dad's name if they want to. D. Alberto's kind of unique.
Yeah.
It is a
So-
little
Yes, it
bit. It is a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so your
it's-
dad had some
Yeah,
relief.
he said he was feeling pretty good. So
Good.
maybe we'll get him back out on the pickleball court or the golf
do it.
course. And
Yeah,
all right, cool.
Let's do
Like it. I like
Cool.
it.
yeah.
So
That's good.
I'm curious because it should be how does the laser affect, because I know it becomes it's a mental addiction. As far as the physical aspect of it, that's kind of how does that work with the blood-brain barrier to the body, because that's where the addiction sort of cross over. So explain us how that helps with nicotine.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really more physiological than it is habitual. In fact, nicotine's been found to be more addictive than heroin, if you can believe that. So it totally is a physiological addiction. That's why the success rate with cold turkey is like less than 5%.
Okay.
Because when people try to go at it on their own,
Right.
it's hard because
Right.
they have cravings, they have withdrawal symptoms,
Right.
and they just feel really bad. So they're battling that on top of trying to change, habits.
Right.
So the therapy is rooted in principles of traditional acupuncture. Instead of using needles, the laser uses light. So there's many different classes of laser. This is a low-level laser. It uses light, not heat, so it's completely painless. It's very relaxing, actually. A lot of it's auricular therapy, which means around the ears. So we treat a lot of ear points around the hands. So basically, the light from the laser, I'll show and tell. So this is kind of what it looks like. There's two different probes, one that looks like this and one that's for getting into little narrower spaces on the ear.
Okay.
But it basically uses a focus beam of light. So the light stimulates nerve endings below the skin, which trigger the brain to release endorphins. You know those as our feel-good chemicals, right?
Right.
And so that prevents the patients from going through the physical withdrawal symptoms and having the cravings, which is why most people fail, again, at cold turkey. So it takes away the physical part of things.
Okay.
And that's actually gone right after we do the treatment. So they have a result immediately. They
Okay.
walk out of the office and they don't feel like they need to smoke.
That's incredible. I've only heard of one other type of therapy that had almost, and I won't say immediate, but close to an immediate, was those that really did intense breathing exercises.
Yeah, I mean, listen, anything that's breathing relaxes you, right?
Right.
And so,
But they were saying that it was because the habit is this.
right.
And
Yes.
so when you did the breathing, it
Yeah.
sort
Kind
of
of mimics
gave the
something.
same thing, and it gave them some relief.
I mean, the breathing actually is something that we tell the patients to do after they quit, to help with relaxation,
Right.
because one of the triggers to staying quit is stress.
Right.
So when people are stressed out and they feel anxious, that's conditioned behavior to go smoke,
Right.
So instead of when you feel that anxious feeling smoking, take some nice deep breaths and it relaxes you.
My grandma was a smoker. Both of my grandfathers smoked cigarettes, pipes, and cigars, and they all had problems that later led to them dying.
Yeah.
And they used to say that the addiction was based more on everything. Like they were happy, they'd want a cigarette. They were
Right.
sad, they want a cigarette.
Yeah.
They won, they wanted a cigarette. They
Right.
lost, they
Yeah.
wanted a cigarette.
Right. Yeah.
They took another deep breath, they wanted a cigarette. So, in addition to the laser therapy and, Vincent, you just mentioned breathing, are there other things that you coach them on
Yeah.
through the process?
Yeah, so a patient's in the office for typically an hour. 15 to 20 minutes of that is the actual treatment. So the rest of the time is spent, I have a short little video presentation, they watch that, but it's also counseling and education of,
There you go.
taking care of the behavioral aspects of things, changing habits after 40 years, a lot of times, of doing something every day, how to navigate stress and how to prevent relapse, because those are important things. It's not just the laser and you quit and that's it. It's also relapse prevention. This is a very effective way to stop smoking, but patients have to understand they have to stay quit and think of themselves in recovery, like a recovering addict or alcoholic. You know, I haven't smoked in over 20 years, but I know if I picked up one, if I was a ding dong,
it was going.
that's it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, yeah, so they have to have some of that education as well.
Yeah, I told Vince I had got back on the carnivore wagon because I fell off a little bit. So
Okay.
I understand the addiction thing.
Okay.
Easy to happen.
You know, all the chemicals in our food and everything that I was eating, and sugar. Sugar's
Yeah,
the biggest
oh
one.
gosh,
Vince
sugar's a
always
big
talking
one.
about sugar. So.
Yeah, yeah.
It is huge.
I used to do laser for weight loss. We did that back in the day, so we would
Yeah.
handle some of that stuff. But, you know, we found that patients kind of wanted more of like magic wand than a laser. So a lot of times,
Get your Ozempic here.
yeah, kind
Okay.
of. You know, that's kind of how things are. Sometimes people want, you know, just a quick fix, and you know, I have to say the laser for smoking works pretty well, but for eating, it's different because you have the you have to eat every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you have to make more
Big
modifications
difference,
at
yeah.
home.
Big difference.
Yeah.
And I mean, and then it becomes what you eat. But this is not a carnivore
no, we're
show.
not-
so
Yeah,
we're
okay.
not going there.
Next time.
We're not going there today.
You know,
But
every now and again, like my cousin here, she said 3 years to
Okay.
Cigarette
yesterday.
free.
Congrats.
oh, look at that! Isn't
But-
that perfect timing for
But
this
isn't
to be
it-
today?
literally.
All right.
But when she first started that journey, I said to her, asked her, "What's your why?"
Yeah.
Besides, everybody needs to have a why. I'm like, "What's
That's
your
right.
why?" And she was, "I'm just sick of it and this, that, and the other. You know, get my life together, yada, yada, yada."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, well, here's a why." I said, "Why don't you add up how much you're not spending buying cigarettes every
Right.
week?" Long story short, this is her 3rd year anniversary. Last year, she took about 30% of the money, and
Nice.
that was a down payment on the first home.
Nice.
So I mean, like you could see how you're helping yourself, but now you're really helping yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're not throwing away that money is not disposable.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
especially to the average American. I think
Right.
the average cigarette now is like $10 a
Yeah.
pack.
It's about
Well, and
10
then
bucks.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
In
It's
the
a lot,
long
it adds
run,
up.
you're saving money on hospital bills because you don't have lung cancer and
but-
emphysema.
Yeah,
and
but
Well,
stuff.
that's true.
we ain't even going that
I know,
far yet. We're
right.
talking today.
I'm
Yeah.
a finance
Yeah.
guy. It doesn't go away,
Yeah.
Vince. I'm sorry.
I got you.
But to your point, you know, the addictive thinking is so much opposite of what people logically know. You know, I treat a lot of people that
Okay.
they already have the COPDs, they already have the health issues, you know,
Right.
and they're coming in because they have to quit. I mean, which they don't have to. You know, you could keep smoking; it wouldn't be advisable,
Right.
but. You know, so they know, these are people that know better, you know, so
Oh, yeah.
we all know, you know, I knew smoking wasn't good for me when I was a smoker, but again, you can't tell your body to just not need something,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I mean, I'm a fireman. Sometimes we'll go and pick up a patient, and they're on the oxygen.
Yeah.
They've called 911 because they're having difficulty breathing.
Yeah.
And when we walk in,
They got a cigarette in
they're
their
burning
neck.
a cigarette
Yeah.
with the oxygen, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is not good.
Yeah.
But that's how strong
Right.
the addiction is.
That's right.
You know, they're trying to hurry up and get one last one in
Yeah.
before they go to the hospital with the oxygen on in the house.
Right.
It's like, okay,
Crazy, right?
This is yeah. I'm like, did you want to die slow or did you want to burn? I'm not sure
Right.
how you wanted to go out.
So I'll tell you, to that point, I'll tell you a funny story. So my dad was in the service. I believe he was in the Army, you know, when he was younger. And he got pneumonia, and I guess he was discharged, honorably discharged at that time. And later on in life, he went and had a chest x-ray. He was a smoker at the time, and they saw something in his lungs. They didn't tell him what. He had to like come back and get a follow-up scan. And of course he was freaking out, so he quit smoking immediately, right? He was just
Right.
able to just stop it on his own. When he went back for the follow-up scan, they said, oh, it was just scar tissue
Yeah.
from your pneumonia. So, okay, what does he do?
Right back in.
He's so happy that he doesn't have lung cancer, he went and bought a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, it's
right?
amazing.
So that's kind of again how that mindset is.
So are your
If you're watching, Dad, sorry, I love you.
so are
His
your
why was different.
you better watch his daughter's on the podcast.
Right.
You should watch it.
Right.
Are your clients older, younger? Is it more vapors in the young generation like you'd expect?
Yeah.
Is it, is it all over the board? You got 90-year-olds coming to you?
Sometimes.
And so like where, who comes to quit?
Yeah.
Like who's motivated to quit nicotine?
I'm going to say that up until recently, it had been people like my dad, 40, 50-year-old,
Okay.
50-year smokers.
50-year smokers. So
yeah.
that put them probably at 65, 70
Yeah.
years
Somewhere in
Right.
that ballpark.
old. Okay.
And then as of recent, maybe the last, like, I don't know, 3 to 5 years, it's younger kids. You know, it's kids like almost Mike. I have older
Yeah.
teenagers, you know,
Right.
that are doing the vaping. That's the new thing now.
So they're not necessarily
So-
smoking cigarettes. They're buying the little vape
They're doing the
cartridges with the
vapes.
flavors in them.
Right,
all
and
that
that's-
stuff.
But that's even more addictive because the flavors and all this stuff, they're taking in like I think the number was 24 more times nicotine in the vape than they get
Oh,
in
you
the
did some
cigarette.
research.
Oh, yeah.
So inhaling.
Well, I had teenagers too. At
You
one
did-
point.
So
okay.
yeah.
wait, inhaling cheap chemicals that probably come from foreign countries is not the best
And not
idea.
only that, but wait, there's more. And then don't forget the heating of these elements
Right.
that's coming through here, which is causing popcorn lung. And
Right.
again, I've
That's
seen
right.
that.
Yeah.
I've seen that with a kid that did it the first time. The
Wow.
first time they hit a vape, trying to do the big clouds that they saw on these videos. Yeah, immediately, boom, respiratory, damn near arrest. You know,
Yeah.
he survived because he was only 15 years old.
Wow.
But yeah,
Scary.
on a respirator.
Yeah.
At 15 years old for God knows how long, but he did live.
Yeah.
But this is crazy. But that's why I'm like, as bad as the historical cigarettes was, like my mom, I couldn't stand to smoke cigarettes. To this day, I've never smoked a cigarette because I couldn't stand when she smoked cigarettes. Her and my sister. Sorry. But I just couldn't stand it. So, but the vape thing, it's almost the equivalent of what Camel got sued for back in the day by doing the Joe Camel appealing to kids. Well, that's all RJ. These other companies went back and
Don't go there. We're not.
and started attacking these kids with these flavors and all of this other stuff. And I just recently watched the Netflix one with the Jewel, and how they went through their lawsuits and how they look at these lobbies. They do what they got to do because there's so much money involved in this. And so the good thing for you is that there's always going to be people there. Now it's just going to be how soon they want to quit.
Right.
So you know,
Yeah.
it's a scary thing. But yeah, the amount of nicotine that they get in a hit, it's like I think it was 24 times the nicotine than in a cigarette. So the
what's-
addiction goes faster is what my original
Yeah,
point was.
and the other thing is too, it's, you know, I'll tell my patients it's like next level. Like some of my patients say, I wish I just would have stuck with cigarettes because this is so much worse. I'm in
Yes.
bed.
Yes.
I can vape in bed. You know,
No,
I can
the-
do it
yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the
the
problem.
peculiar thing to me is you're now seeing nicotine marketed positively in
Yes.
some ways, right? Like they were
The
talking.
patches though.
Well, they were talking about how the patches had the ability or the assist to get rid of colds and even COVID and all this.
Oh, I
other
didn't hear
stuff.
any of that.
Well, but there's more than that
There's
though.
tons
They're
of
also talking about, like, have you heard about nicotinamide peptides? They're selling
perhaps.
them everywhere. It's literally like people are taking nicotine, thinking that there's health benefits.
Right.
Now I don't know. I haven't
There-
done. Vince might know better, but
Yeah.
go ahead. No,
Well,
what-
no, I'm
no.
saying that I'm agreeing that there is quite a bit of research out that started, and it caught my attention when I heard about the COVID effects, the smokers versus the non-smokers, and that's what started to pique my curiosity into doing that research there. But yes, even up to and through Alzheimer's. There's the nicotine, not the actual smoking and the habit of smoking, but the nicotine itself in control patches is how that goes.
It looks
But
like
yeah,
we. It
so
looks like we might have a debunking.
I won't go there.
No,
Yeah.
no, I want to have a debunking on
We'll have
podcast
something to
twins
talk about
today.
on our part 2 when she comes back,
come
because she's
on.
definitely going to go look.
Yeah,
that
we're
up.
gonna stay on this path
Yeah,
today,
yeah.
but maybe another time. But
All right.
yeah, I mean,
Yes.
listen. At the end of the day, you know, people can come up with all the rationalizations that they want. You know, they can look for the loophole, but it's a very addictive drug. I'll just tell you this. So years ago, had another amazing opportunity through my dad to work at a drug treatment center up in
Okay.
Palm Beach. Was an amazing time. We spent over 8 years there helping patients getting off of drugs and alcohol. We would do a similar protocol that would help them when they were getting off of their detox. And then we did some pain therapy as well. Anyways, 98% of the patients were smokers. I mean, they all smoked
Yes,
in the
yes.
treatment centers. And they would say time and time again that the drugs that they were in a treatment facility for were easier to
Yes.
get off of than cigarettes.
Yes.
So that just tells you, you
And
know.
that's all they do at the treatment centers is smoke
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Yeah.
I've picked up quite a few people from there as well, but
Yeah.
man, you walk in there, it's literally a smoke cloud.
Yeah.
Literally a
So-
smoke cloud, because that's all they,
Like a bar in the 50s?
like a bar in the 50s or an airplane in the 70s. It was
Well, I don't think they let you smoke in the facility anymore, maybe, or at least in my experience.
but right out front, you got to walk
front,
through
right,
that
right,
to
right,
get
right.
to
Yeah.
the front door,
Yeah.
or wherever their
Yeah.
their common area is.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's tough, but again, I agree. I've heard people say that getting off recreational drugs was easier than quitting cigarettes.
Yeah.
But don't you think that it's because the cigarettes are more accepted in society versus the recreational drug use?
I mean, I think
Meaning it's more in your face. Like you said, if you was to
Yeah.
have a cigarette right now, it would probably collapse you. But
yeah.
it's so acceptable in
I think
today's
it's a
world.
combination
Is
of that.
smoking
And
cigarettes acceptable?
I mean, it's still
Compared
it's still
to
around.
smoking crack on the corner, I'm going to say
Well, probably. I mean,
cigarettes would be more acceptable
I
than
bet if
smoking crack.
I bet if you ask somebody who's smoking for 50 or 60 years, they're not a fan.
I'm going to still say that smoking a cigarette is way more acceptable than lighting up the crack pipe up here on the corner.
I mean, I'm
I
not
would
saying that you should do that. Go on, sorry.
I would say from that standpoint,
Yes.
yes. I
Okay.
mean, right. You're gonna get
Acceptability.
you're gonna get less stigma with
Right.
cigarettes. You know, no healthier benefit or anything, but less stigma than seeing somebody
Yeah.
right lighting up. Exactly.
Because Nancy told us to just say no back then.
Yes.
So I mean, come on. So, but no, I love the idea of it because again, I had a parent that smoked, and I had a sibling that smoked, and it drove me nuts.
Yeah.
So I was always looking for something like this, but same point like your dad. My mom had a scare, and instantly, until she found out the scare wasn't scared, then she went right on back to doing what she was doing.
Yeah.
And I've told a story here about I had an aunt who had a stroke, and she had it, and her granddaughter was only like 8 months old, and the doctor told her it was a bad stroke, and she regained this, but he said if you have one more cigarette, you're not going to see your grandchild grow up.
Yeah, it's scary.
She survived till that girl graduated high school. She saw her graduate high school, and with that level of stroke, you're only supposed to get 5 to 7 years.
Wow.
She survived 18 plus years.
Okay.
So I mean, your why has to be strong enough, and then you have something like this to assist the
Yeah.
physical withdrawals.
Yeah.
Come on, that's a win. That's
Yeah.
a win-win protocol.
No,
right
it
there.
is, and that's funny you said that because I actually have a sign in my office that says "What's your why?" and it has health, finances, family.
I haven't even seen it.
But it's true because I ask
Yes.
people that because you have to have a bigger reason than my spouse is tired of me doing it.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I won't even treat people whose spouses call for them unless they're calling and the spouse knows they're calling
Right.
and asking them to make the
So
appointment.
if you don't think they actually really want to quit, you're probably not going to take them as a client.
No, and the thing is, this isn't hypnosis where, and hypnosis falls into one of those things it's safe, right? And it can be effective. I
Right.
know some people, they have quit that way, so that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But, it doesn't work for everybody and it's not doing anything for the physiological cause of the addiction, whereas this does. So whether people believe in this or they don't, because it's physiological, it works. That's the nice thing about that.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you
Oh,
gonna
no,
say?
I was going to say, so what's your level of success with these clients? And go ahead, we'll answer that.
Yeah,
one.
no, typically patients quit, believe it or not, over 90% of the people that we
That's
see.
a big number.
It's one
That's
treatment.
huge.
That's a big
one
number.
treatment.
It is, and this is how we kind of gauge that. So most of my business, I'm really happy to say, it comes from referrals over the last 20
Yeah.
years.
Beautiful.
So it's friends.
With a 90% success rate, that seems pretty
Yeah.
reasonable.
It's good, it works well. So most people are coming on a referral, basis. But also, we make a deal with our patients that if they need help after they've seen us, regardless of time frame, it is always free to come back as long as they call and pick up the phone
Right.
before they
Yeah.
pick up a cigarette. So before they relapse. So when you don't hear
okay.
from people, based on
That's
that,
a good sign.
you have to assume that they're successful, right?
yeah.
So that's kind of how we gauge things. Again, more from a referral side of things. Do people relapse and come back? Yeah, I wouldn't be truthful if I said that some of my business
Absolutely.
is in relapse.
Absolutely.
But people will come back and say, hey, this worked. I went 6 months, but I drank. you know, or I had a fight with my wife.
That was going to be my next thing is
Yeah.
they pick up another habit, because that's what, so most people that quit smoking, their number one complaint is,
can
I
I
gain
guess?
weight.
Junk food?
Well, they gain weight because
They eat too much meat.
We're turning it. We're turning it right now.
No, we're not turning it. No.
Okay. But they said that they gain weight because of the snacking, because they don't have that cigarette to do at their break, so they replaced it with snacks. They gain weight, and that is probably the number one complaint that I've heard as far as people who have quit smoking.
And that's because of the oral fixation.
The fixation.
You gotta
or
keep
just
sick.
habituals.
They replace
That's
it with eating.
That's what these people are saying.
Yeah, so it's a couple things. One, nicotine's an appetite suppressant. So, you know, a lot of my patients are high nicotine consumers, high caffeine consumers, which is also an appetite suppressant. So they don't eat.
They don't eat.
So now they quit smoking and their body's going back to normal and they're feeling appetite, right? Which doesn't feel normal to them.
Right.
So now they're either consuming way too many calories, they're eating the wrong foods and consuming way too many calories, and there's no exercise.
Right.
So I mean, weight gain is really because of too many calories in versus burnt, right? That's the magic formula that's not really magical. So maybe 3 to 5 pounds, maybe, I'll give you that, is from quitting smoking initially as your metabolism winds back to normal. But people that gain 10, 20 pounds, that's not just because they quit smoking.
Oh, no.
You know? So
that was their excuse. I didn't say
right,
that was a legit excuse.
Yeah, yeah.
I said that was their excuse.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, you mentioned something also earlier with the acupuncture.
Yeah.
Now, that for me, that goes back 20 years when I started seeing acupuncture used for smoking here, because I had already heard about it in Asia, who was developing this overwhelming, they smoke. My God, over there in Asia, they smoke like crazy. But earlier, and so we're going back maybe 20 years when I found this out, because I was getting acupuncture on my back for a bum shoulder. And she was telling me that she uses it for smoking cessation, but she learned it over in Asia because they needed so many people, because the smoking had gotten so out of hand that she was over there treating people all day long for that. So now you basically have acupuncture in the box.
Right.
You know,
that's a neat way to think about it.
There you go. You have acupuncture in the box. And so I thought that was pretty neat the way you described it, how it's, because, I mean, having the needles, you didn't really feel it until after. But then you saying this is even just light. You don't even feel that at all. So.
Right. It's very relaxing. I mean, patients typically feel maybe a little bit of warmth or tingliness, but other than that, afterwards, a lot of people feel like they've come out of a massage. They're just like very relaxed.
Nice.
So I explain it like acupuncture with laser technology. You can think about it like that.
I love it.
It's funny because a friend of mine who is a traditional acupuncturist, we used to work in the same office together, and she would just send me all her smoking patients because she would say it takes her 10 and 12 treatments with needles.
Right.
The laser is one time. So now for a million other things, acupuncture is great. I've had it myself. I love it. I'm a fan of it. But she would send me her smoking patients because it would be that much more effect from laser for smoking specifically than what you get with the needles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So.
The more you know. The more you know. I mean, who knew? But again, if you go back, we're more holistic guys on this podcast. I think you live longer the more you stay the hell out of a doctor's office and come more holistic approaches when you're taking care of some of your bad habits that you got to fix. Because again, you're not walking out of here with a bag of drugs to take. So I'm happy with that, because this is a treatment.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a treatment and a medication protocol.
Right.
I can't stand the medication protocols because if they're not trying to treat you, they're just maintaining you.
Yeah.
You're trying to heal people and treat people.
Right.
And so that's I'm happy.
Well, it does.
I'm a fan.
It does create a business problem, though, because you're working yourself out of a job in one session. So, do you have to charge like $100,000 a session?
No,
or,
we really don't.
What is the downside of? Like, I don't see a downside. So, is there any like unintended side effects or any downside at all?
Because here it comes. Here, wait a minute.
No, I gotta ask.
There's really not. I mean, in over 50 years, which I don't think I mentioned this. This treatment's not new. It's like I said, we were probably one of the first pioneer companies doing this 20 plus years ago here in Florida, in the States really, but in Europe and Canada, they've used laser for over 50 years.
Isn't that bad?
So,
How far behind we are, but yet
a little bit.
how far advanced we are?
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, so
Continue.
there's really no side effects from it. I mean, if somebody were pregnant and smoking, which I don't get a lot of those patients,
Probably not
fortunately.
advised. I hear that's bad for you.
Yeah, it's not
says it
good.
right on the pack. I think, right?
Okay.
Like, don't use this if you're pregnant.
But listen,
A lot of us born
no
in the
judgment,
70s. That's
no
how
judgment.
you were being born, man.
People get hooked,
There's,
you know?
There's pictures of people that I know sitting there in the 60s and the 70s with a big old belly,
Right.
puffing on.
So
the
not a big part of my business, but they would get a
Yeah,
doctor's
yeah,
note if somebody was coming. They would have
Okay.
to see their doctor. But really, no. I mean, there's really no,
Is it insurance
contraindications.
coverage? Okay, so there's the downside. No, I'm just
Insurance,
teasing.
unfortunately, does not pick up for
They
this.
don't do.
you
They
know,
don't like
and-
holistic people because some of the Rothschild people who started really co-opting the medical field, they started calling people who went holistic quacks, and hence the chiropractic works, the Asian treatments of acupuncture and all these other things that heal you were no longer in vogue because
Well, yeah.
you killed the business structure of it. When we
Yeah,
can give
I mean,
you
listen.
a bag of medicine to go home.
We're not going to talk about big tobacco today, right? We're not talking about that.
No,
but,
we can.
But no,
We
we're
love
not.
throwing
We-
people
no,
under
we're-
the bus. It's
I'm-
part of the
I'm
show.
gonna stay.
I got big tires for
I'm
them.
in the lane.
I'll roll right over.
I'm staying in my lane.
Okay,
But the thing is, I
I'll
mean,
back the truck up.
I'll roll right over.
no, we're not going there. But the thing is, right, there's, obviously it would make more sense to cover things that would prevent people from going to need to have lung surgery and have
Right.
their lungs removed, God forbid. But, things are a little backwards when it comes to that. However,
However,
the therapy is affordable. I mean, it's really,
All right.
it's under $300 a month.
wow.
So
that's crazy.
what's the point of having something that works good?
So
we
it's
feel,
15 days worth of cigarettes. I could do that.
I was about to say probably a little less.
Maybe
than that if you're
maybe
doing 2 and a
13 or
half,
14
two and a half
days.
packs.
Well, you
Think
think-
So
if people-
$20 a day times 30. There you go. You got 2 months worth right there.
Well, it's
That's 20 times 30. That's $600, right?
but
That's
it's
what you
only.
said, right? 300 bucks.
She said it's 300.
It's under
so
three-
it's 50.
under,
that's
under.
That's a pack of cigarettes a day.
It's about a month's what most people would spend that smoke a
Yeah,
pack
yeah.
a day in a
Yeah,
month
that's
of
a pack a
smoking.
day.
Right, and then
But I
for
was
the
saying, like,
next,
her
but for
dad,
the
who was a
next
2.5
40
pack.
years, for the next
Right.
40 years, how much money do you save?
Oh no! How? And
Don't
then-
ask me math. That's
then we're
I'm not
gonna
a mathematician. I'm a laser therapist.
Listen, I'll write your sales
Yeah.
pitch for you.
And then
We'll
we're
make
gonna
it
go ahead
not
and
just
put
an
that in there,
investment in your health.
Show them what it
we have
is.
chat.
investment.
We have chat for that now. So that's
And then we're
investment.
going to have to put it away, compound interest over. Anyway, so now here's my plight on it. I mentioned earlier that I couldn't stand my mom smoking at all. Just couldn't do it. And the rest of my family. So y'all gonna see this. They know. Couldn't stand it. But I think that, this is gonna be tough. After what I've seen in the last 8 years with vapes and the immediacy of either the addiction or the lung breakdown, it's almost like I'd rather them smoke cigarettes if they got to pick one and before they come see you, because the medical kick, these kids are going down hard on the vapes. And again, because if you're an adult, working adult, you're going to go buy legit stuff. A lot of these times they're buying things that they can afford or somebody can get them to hook up, and it's cheaper products, cheaper everything, and that popcorn lung is real, and it happens
is real.
so fast. Sometimes within the first year of them beginning to vape, and most of these kids are under 18.
Yeah, I mean, that's where education comes in, right? Because you have to really kind of get them. Like, my kids know, I have straight up said, I will kill you if you pick up any nicotine product.
Right.
Like, they know not to do it, And I mean, hopefully they won't, right? I
Hopefully
can
they
only
won't.
control that
Right.
or try to advise as much as I can. But it's kind of like, a rather than thing. I don't know if rather is none at all, right? You just don't pick
but
up
I was
anything.
saying how much I hated the
Yeah.
cigarette, but it was the immediacy of the physical response to the vape. When it goes bad fast. Not to say that the cigarettes don't, because I mean, you can walk in the room and be like, okay, she's smoking.
Right.
And
Well,
that cologne, it don't cover it. It don't cover it, man. It don't cover it. And coming from the Midwest, a lot of people smoked. I mean, it was a thing. Everybody on your break, you met outside. Below zero, they went through their coats on out there, huddled up, trying to hurry up and get the cigarette in.
Yep, I'm from up north, so
You
I
know,
what
so
that's like.
it was crazy, but yeah, that's how. To me, that shows you how strong an addiction is.
It is.
You're gonna go outside for 15 minutes. It's 1 degree. It's 1 degree, and you're gonna go out there just to jam the
Get
cigarette
your
down.
fix. Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll do it.
you know,
You'll do
you
it
might
for
as
sure.
well just get your little,
I mean,
know.
at least they went outside, so I don't have to smell it.
Yeah, but
that
when they
was-
came back in, you smelled it.
Well, I could leave by then.
No, man, you got to work with them. They're working right next to you or in your group. But
Right.
again, I think the trend is, now maybe you might be able to help me out here. As far as cigarettes, I heard the trend is trending downward as far as new smokers in cigarettes.
It
But
might
the
be.
vapes
The vape
may-
isn't. Well, that's what I was saying. When you asked me who my
Who your
typical
clients are.
or
Yeah,
patients
sure.
are, it's more younger. I'm seeing more younger kids than I have in the past for that reason. You know,
Yeah.
that they don't think it's as bad. It doesn't smell. You can do it anywhere. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
how it's marketed. But
But at least once they try it, they want to come to you and
Hopefully.
get rid of it. You know, like if they
Not
try
always,
it
but-
and they're like, oh, this is bad for me, and
it's hard when you're young, right?
the
'Cause when you're
information
young-
is peppered at
Yeah.
kids
Yeah.
specifically all day, every day.
and their friends are doing it, and
Right.
that's the hardest part. I mean, it's a big thing. I mean, it's nothing to see a bunch of kids just come out of it. They even got a little thing on Vice TV. I watch a lot of TV. Vice TV, where they show these kids why they wear sweatshirts in schools is because they vape in class, and it doesn't
Oh,
come
wow.
out of the sweatshirt
nuts.
because it's so thick.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
they're in class just vaping away underneath
Yeah.
their sweatshirt, blowing it out in there. Nobody knows the difference. That's when they don't use the flavor.
Kids, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
So, I mean, but again,
That
you're
sounds
sitting.
like a stupid thing to get suspended for if you get caught.
Yeah, but that's what.
Like I'm not saying I didn't do stupid stuff when I was in middle school and high school,
Yeah.
college, after
Yeah.
yesterday, whatever.
Yeah.
But that one just doesn't seem like a good idea at all.
Pushing the envelope, right? That's
Pushing
what
the
kids
envelope.
do. That's what they
Well,
do.
I tell you what, you might have to use this machine a lot more because I was at the airport just Monday when I had to be late. But I saw that they now have what they call an airplane friendly vape because regular vapes you can't use.
Wow. That's new to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't think it existed before Monday, and I saw it, and it was like airplane friendly, and it was in a smoke shop inside of the airport, and I was like, wow.
Huh.
Yeah, because the first time I ever saw a vape on the airplane, this guy, he had the worst addiction, and he was just blowing it up. It was like a chimney going up, and this was early, and so they didn't know. They didn't tell him to stop. They didn't, it was early. I mean, that's when they had the long, skinny pins. This is early on with the one of the first ones I'd ever seen. And but shortly after that flight, it was like no vaping on the planes at all.
Right.
And the guy was like, "But I'm not smoking.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
it's steam.
Right.
It's vapor.
Yes, it's vapor. Yeah.
It's vapor."
Yes, lots of excuses.
Lots
I mean,
of
that's
excuses.
the addictive mindset. It's just a lot of
Yeah.
rationalizations. But
Well,
there's help. That's the most important thing.
But
Is that
thank God we
there
got
is
you.
help. There is help.
I got one more question.
Yes.
So you brought this equipment, which we appreciate because
Yes.
we get to see it.
Yeah.
Is this everything that you need for one session? Like, could you do a session if someone in my office said, "Hey, I want to quit smoking," and they pay you $285 or $200? Could you do it like here, or it has to
No, they
be
would come to
in-
my office.
It has to
I
be
mean,
in your office.
the
Okay.
best setting is,
Right.
it's a treatment, but it's the environment as well.
Yeah,
That's
like
why I don't
acupuncture,
do,
it's relaxing.
Yeah.
You go in, you lay down.
Right.
I got you.
like I don't
Okay.
do house calls, or things like that. I have an office, and
No,
patients-
I only
But
ask
that's why
because
you retired the massage. You was like, "I'm tired of house calls."
I only
more
ask
house
because I
calls.
know if we got 1,500 views on one of your clips, 1,400 of them would ask that question.
Yeah,
probably.
no,
So,
but I'm right in Davie, so you can come to Davie and
you're my,
you can,
you're
you
my
can get
neighbor.
treated
She's
there.
my neighbor.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Davie, Florida, man. This is where you. So this is awesome because I think I didn't get to respond on the cost factor. I think that because it is so affordable, I think that would make the why even that much higher. Because
Right.
I mean, I would think usually when you got a therapy that costs that insurance refuses to cover because it would actually help you,
It's got a comma.
it's usually going to have a comma. It's usually starting at $1,200, $1,500, and and those are the things that really help people. But they like, yeah, nah, we ain't
Yeah.
gonna do it. So to hear that this is that affordable, and if you're in the South Florida area, hell, I even say spend $1,000, get a plane ticket, fly down here, get a hotel room, then come get a treatment, go to the beach, and then get back on the plane and go home.
And come back.
I have
Wait,
those people, if
See
you
what I'm
believe it or
saying?
not. I have people that come
can
from
we
out of
play
country.
golf with them or something before they go
You know
home?
what?
Like,
If you
let's
give
go
us
play
enough
golf
warning,
with them.
For us, warning is like 2 or 3 hours. Give us a couple of hours warning, and then yes, we will go ahead and play golf with you. We just want to make sure that we don't mess up Pam's treatment time. So
That's right. Don't
she
mess me
can,
up.
Get that going on.
Wait,
there.
why
But
do you
Yeah.
need 2 or 3 hours? I was gonna ask you if you wanted to play at 4 o'clock today, and it's like almost 3.
Yeah, but that's a whole different conversation.
Okay,
You
all
know,
right,
I don't need
all
much
right.
time. But I wanted to make sure she had her full treatment time, get a ooh-ah moment.
Yes.
Now, Zen.
Ooh.
So Zen is the new. The
I'm very
new
impressed. You're very researched.
Well, there's a lot of
very,
them too.
I'm impressed.
There's one called On. There's one called Zen. There's
We're
one
talking
called.
popularity.
Right.
Zen is the most popular.
All right. They're the new jewel.
They are and because it's pouches,
I know.
and it's
Right.
small, not like the old school pouches when I was a kid. Now like this.
Right.
Now it's small. You can
Yeah.
be right there, and but I've seen people with them in, and they stood up and was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So they get pretty powerful.
Right. So, and again, I mean, you're talking about delivery systems of the same thing.
I mean, I'll be honest. I tried one time. I felt like my lip was on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
That was not a pleasant experience.
Burn it.
Well,
Go ahead.
no, the problem is you would get past that, right? Because when your body grabbed onto those addictive chemicals,
I spit it out
and you
immediately.
couldn't
I
control
spit it out
it, you
so
would
fast.
continue
Yeah,
to want
so
Right.
to
I
want
guess
more and more.
I
but-
guess the nicotine didn't have time to get its addictiveness in because I spit it out so quick.
Yeah, and I mean, people that just try things, as we spoke about the other day, to me, I call that gambling.
Okay.
Right, because when you're dealing with something that's so addictive and you think, well, I'm just doing it on the weekend or I'm just doing this, and I'll say to my patients, sometimes they'll come in and say, well, I have friends that they only smoke on the weekends, and it's like they're in admiration of that.
Yeah.
And I'll say, well, what's good about that? Like, would it be healthy or safe to just do crack on the weekends? And they, of course, laugh about that a little bit, but it's true. Something
true.
addictive and poisonous, you don't want to do it at all.
Right.
But
I mean,
with the
you're right.
Zens, yeah,
The Zen is.
it's all the same
and
drug.
It's so I'm a baseball player from back in the day where in the 80s, early 90s,
chewed.
you put a big old chaw
Big
in your
League
mouth.
Chew. Oh, that's gum.
Yeah.
That's
That's
regular
gum.
gum.
Big League
That's
Chew
the
is how
regular gum.
people got off of the tobacco use. But back then they were putting Red Man, Copenhagen, doing your mouth full of this stuff. And I've seen some very sick people that did not make it through those moments. I did it back in the day. I couldn't say that I loved it, but I could see why people like it. As opposed to painkillers, I couldn't see how people like that. But this kind of put you in that. You just was like, okay, all right, come on, bring it. You just felt like it helped your confidence because it really gave you something else to think about. And so I could see it, but I had a friend, and I brought that up because one of my teammates, he told me probably 10 years ago. Now, mind you, we finished playing ball in '95 in college. He played a couple years after that in the minor league system. He said it took him 2 complete trips through rehab to break the addiction.
Okay.
Now, he never smoked, never a cigarette a day in his life, but he couldn't stop chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
And it took him 2 times through rehab, and he was like, I was at work taking just a little bit now, which is the same size as his Zen. He was trying to do all
he
this stuff to
needed
get
was
there.
$300, man.
But
You
yeah.
need two rehabs.
Well, but
What's he
that's-
doing?
That's the point too, is that a lot of times patients think because they're not getting smoke in their lungs that
Right.
it's somehow better, but you're still getting a drug fix.
Yeah.
Nicotine is nicotine, however you dress it up and get it in your body, the effect is the same,
You are correct.
So Yeah, so that's
So how do our listeners find you, Pam? If they want to go to your website or your social media or your office,
Yeah.
how do they find you? And
So-
we'll share the links, of course, in the comments.
Thanks. So they can just look up Laser Therapy South. I'm in, like I said, Davie, Florida. The website's www.lasertherapysouth.com.
Okay.
And same thing on social media, just Laser Therapy South on Instagram and on Facebook. So, yeah.
So Laser Therapy South on all platforms, right?
You got Pam Behan, who's the owner.
then
And
you
she's
got-
going to help you quit smoking or get out
Or
of pain.
pain. We didn't really
Or
talk
get
about
out-
the
or-
pain too much.
No,
but,
listen, my dad gave a testimonial and I heard it and he
wanna
was
hear-
happy.
Can I get a
so-
couple minutes of the pain? I just want to hear a couple minutes. How does it work on the pain effect?
So yeah, just real quick. So again, both devices use light. This is a higher powered laser.
Okay.
So instead of hitting nerve endings superficially below the skin, it's going to penetrate much deeper. So it affects the body on a cellular level. That's how our bodies heal and repair. So when you have pain, typically there's inflammation, there's swelling, there's a restriction in blood flow. So the light from the laser gets way down into the tissue. It helps to relieve inflammation, to bring fresh blood flow into injured tissue. And unlike things like medications and cortisones that kind of just mask pain, there's actually a healing effect. So when people feel better, it's because their body's responding and they're getting better. So,
I love it.
yeah.
Weren't we just talking about blood flow today?
Blood
I
flow.
saw your post about watermelon being nature's Viagra, and we brought that up. Have you heard of this, Pam?
I haven't, and I don't know that I care
let
to.
Vince is going to close the show.
I have to?
Vince is going to close the show by blowing your mind.
Oh,
Go
Lord.
ahead. Blow Pam's mind.
Yeah.
Any fruit, any
Okay.
food that's put on this earth by the creators is a complete food. Am I correct? It's complete.
Okay.
Right? Like an egg is a complete food, right? It all works together. Well, so does the watermelon. Just like the skin on a lot of these things, people peel the skin off potatoes. There's a lot of nutrients in the skin of the potato. In this particular case, the citrulline is located heavily within the white portion of the watermelon rind.
Okay.
And what that does is it can help lower your blood pressure, which usually increases blood flow. But just like that same drug that they accidentally found because they was trying to treat blood pressure,
The little blue one.
yeah, and it caused a reaction. Well, the watermelon is nature's way of doing the very same thing. The watermelon rind and skin.
So patients are learning about how to quit smoking and about, natural.
Yeah. Well,
We
because
told you
but
we're
here's the thing.
steering into the health show
But-
skid. It's
but-
working
but
for
here's
us.
The thing. If
Just
you-
don't call me for that because I don't help with that.
Why? You're
But
healthy.
no, you need this first because when you stop smoking, your blood flow definitely
right.
increases.
That is true. This
It
is true.
It completely increases big time when you quit
is true.
smoking, and so that plus watermelon rind.
It's a win-win. I mean, what else?
We're
What
gonna-
else is there in life?
The more you know.
We're going to reproduce the world. One more. So, Pam,
Lord,
one
yes.
more time, your personal,
Thank you.
your information so they can reach you, please.
Yes, so lasertherapysouth.com. I'm in Davie, Florida. Do I give a phone number?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Sure.
Don't call me if you're a weirdo, please, but it's 954-549-9990.
She's happily
So-
married. That's
Happily
not an
married,
offer
yes,
for
no,
like,
it's not.
No.
No.
dating
Yeah,
app
no.
that you're
Serious
on or
inquiries
anything.
only,
Yeah,
please.
exactly.
This is not a swipe right or left show.
Oh, my
goodness. So, serious. So, but this is really good. I'm glad you came and educated
for
us on
having me.
how this
Yeah,
works.
thank you.
Thanks.
And man, I'm super excited. So I'm I got some pain here. I'm probably gonna have to come down for the pain portion.
go.
And I know what Davey is. And I can make it happen.
26 minutes away, no problem.
Yep.
Indeed.
Just around the corner. Nice.
Thank
you.
Thank you guys.
Pam,
Thank
it
you
was
so
a
much.
pleasure.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys.
All
Thank
right.
you.
We're going to catch you guys next week on Podcast
But
Twins.
that's after they hit the subscribe button.
come
And
on,
don't
man.
forget
I was
the
gonna
little bell
steal it
icon.
today.
See?
I was going to steal it
But I'm
today.
gonna let you close it out in the cave. Go ahead, good brother.
From the Twin Cave at Podcast Twins. We'll catch you next week for another episode. Thanks for listening.
Peace.